Owen and Lily's Simple Farm Adventure. In a quiet valley where the hills rolled gently and the sky seemed to stretch forever, there was a little farm. It wasn't the biggest or the fanciest farm, but it was special, especially to a boy named Owen and his cousin Lily. They loved spending their summer holidays there, with the scent of fresh hay and the songs of the crickets filling the warm air. Owen was a thoughtful boy, always curious about how things worked. He liked to watch the chickens peck the ground and wonder why they clucked when they found something good. Lily, on the other hand, was fearless. She loved to climb the haystacks in the barn and run through the fields until she was out of breath, her laughter echoing across the valley. One sunny morning, Owen and Lily were sitting on the porch of the farmhouse, sipping lemonade when Grandpa Jack came over. He had a twinkle in his eye, the kind that meant something exciting was about to happen. "You two look like you're ready for a little adventure," Grandpa Jack said, his voice friendly and warm. Lily's eyes widened with excitement. "What kind of adventure, Grandpa?" Grandpa Jack smiled. "There's an old apple tree on the far side of the meadow, the one by the pond. It's been there since before I was a boy. I think it's about time you two went to pick some apples, don't you think? And maybe, just maybe, you'll find something special along the way." Owen looked at Lily, and she was already on her feet, her face glowing with excitement. "Let's go," she said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. Owen stood up too, a smile slowly spreading across his face. He liked the sound of an adventure, especially one that involved Grandpa Jack's old stories. They grabbed a small wicker basket from the kitchen, and off they went, with the sun warming their backs and the breeze brushing against their faces. As they crossed the meadow, the grass brushed against their ankles, and butterflies danced around them, their wings shimmering in the sunlight. Lily skipped ahead, her laughter like music, while Owen followed, watching the way the tall grasses swayed. He liked the way everything felt alive, as if the meadow itself was welcoming them. "Come on, Slowpoke," Lily called, her voice happy as she waited for Owen by a small wooden bridge. Owen jogged to catch up, and they both crossed the bridge, the planks creaking softly beneath their feet. On the other side was a little path that led them through a grove of tall trees. The leaves whispered above them, and Owen felt a sense of calm wash over him. He looked over at Lily, who was humming a tune, her eyes bright. After a while, they reached the old apple tree. Its branches stretched out wide, heavy with red, ripe apples. Below the tree, the pond sparkled in the sunlight, and a gentle breeze made ripples dance across the surface. "Look at all those apples," Lily said, her voice filled with wonder. They set the basket down and started picking the apples, reaching up as high as they could. Lily climbed onto one of the lower branches, her feet swinging as she picked the apples that Owen couldn't reach. "These are perfect," Owen said, placing an apple carefully in the basket. Lily grinned, holding up a particularly shiny one. "This one is the best," she said proudly. Then she looked towards the pond, her eyes widening. "Owen, look!" Owen turned to see what she was pointing at. By the edge of the pond, just beyond the shade of the apple tree, there was a family of ducks waddling down to the water. The mother duck led the way, her ducklings following in a neat little line. "They're so cute," Lily whispered, her voice soft with awe. Owen nodded, smiling. "Let's watch." They sat down on the soft grass, the basket of apples beside them, and watched as the ducks made their way into the water. The little ducklings paddled quickly to keep up with their mother, their tiny feet splashing. Owen and Lily stayed quiet, not wanting to scare them. It felt like they were witnessing something magical, something that not everyone got to see. After a while, the ducks swam away, and Lily sighed, her voice happy. "That was amazing," she said, looking at Owen. Owen nodded. It really was. He picked up an apple and handed it to Lily. "Here, I think we deserve a snack." They each took a bite, the apples crisp and sweet. The sun was warm on their faces, and the pond shimmered in front of them. Everything felt just right, simple and perfect, like a memory they would hold on to forever. "Grandpa was right," Lily said after a while, her voice thoughtful. "This really was an adventure." Owen smiled. "Yeah, and it's not over yet. We still have to take these apples back." Lily laughed, jumping to her feet. "Race you back to the bridge." Owen grabbed the basket, his heart light. "You're on," he called, running after her, their laughter echoing across the meadow. They ran all the way back, their feet flying over the grass, and when they reached the bridge, they both stopped, out of breath but grinning from ear to ear. Together they walked back to the farmhouse, the basket of apples swinging between them. When they reached the porch, Grandpa Jack was waiting, his eyes twinkling. "Well now," he said, his voice filled with warmth. "Looks like you two had quite the adventure." Lily nodded, her smile bright. "We saw ducklings, Grandpa, and we picked so many apples." Grandpa Jack chuckled. "I knew you'd find something special." He looked at Owen, who was still holding the basket. "And what did you think, Owen?" Owen smiled, a peaceful feeling settling in his chest. "I think it was perfect," he said. Grandpa Jack nodded. "That's the magic of a good day, my boy. Simple things, shared with the people you care about." As the sun began to set behind the hills, Owen and Lily sat on the porch with Grandpa Jack, enjoying the apples they had picked and listening to his stories about when he was a boy. The air was filled with the scent of the orchard, and the sky turned soft shades of pink and gold. Owen knew he would always remember this day, not because of anything grand or extraordinary, but because of how it made him feel, happy, calm, and full of wonder. And as the first stars began to twinkle above the valley, Owen and Lily felt that the little farm, with its rolling hills and quiet secrets, was exactly where they were meant to be. A place where every day held a new adventure, and the simple joys of life were the very best kind.